Okay, men.
Hi, everyone. This is Raquel.
Hi, and this is Jennifer.
Welcome to Madness Cafe.
This is a feminist podcast where we talk about women's issues, politics, and health and wellness.
And where those issues intersect. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Madness Cafe. So today we're going to talk about what I'm guessing when this airs will still probably be a hot topic. But the New York Times article and accompanying podcast episode called "Did Liberal Feminism Ruin the Workplace?"
Wait.
So, yes.
Was that what it was called?
Well, at first it was called, hold on, because a lot of the things that I looked at, I printed out a bunch of articles of people talking about it. At first it was called "Did Women Ruin the Workplace?"
Then people got pissed.
And people got pissed, and New York Times, in their chicken shitness, couldn't stand 10 toes down what they originally said. Chicken shit motherfuckers. And then decided to change it to where I know I have it somewhere. Then they decided to change it to "Did liberal feminism ruin the workplace?" Yeah. Ugh. I have thoughts.
Clearly, I can tell you have thoughts because you're already like a firecracker.
Oh yeah. This whole thing, I didn't read the actual article because I couldn't find it anywhere, and I'm guessing that the New York Times, in their now chicken shit nature, took it down. But I did read the transcript of the podcast episode, and it's a New York Times podcast called Interesting Times. That's the name of the podcast. And it's hosted by this douchebag named Ross Douthat.
Don't hold back, Raquel.
No, I'm really not. In fact, I probably will need you to rein me in a little bit, and you may have to do some creative editing.
Nah, I'll just let you have your piece. So, Raquel, did women ruin the workplace, or did liberal feminists ruin the workplace?
Fuck no. And these two bitches that he had as his guests, girl, I'm all in. Fine, and let these bitches come after me. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I don't give a fuck. The world is a goddamn dumpster fire. Our country is now being run by an authoritarian regime. I don't give a fuck if Ross douchebag Douthat or his two guests, and let me see, what are their names? They are
Helen
Andrews and Leah Labresco Sargent. And what these bitches don't seem to understand is that they wouldn't have the jobs that they have were it not for liberal feminism. So I'm gonna need those two bitches and Ross to take all of the seats.
Isn't this kind of, though, liberal feminism sort of a new terminology? I mean, what's the difference between feminism and liberal? It's almost like because of this regime that you're talking about, we're now putting liberals on the hotbed.
Well, yeah, but so
liberal feminism, not just feminism, liberal feminism.
Right.
Is there such a thing as conservative?
There isn't. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to distinguish this made up bullshit of conservative feminism from liberal, quote unquote, feminism, which is bullshit. There is no liberal feminism. It's just feminism.
Well, and it reminds me of the conversation we had a couple weeks ago with Reverend Erica when we asked the question, can a feminist be pro-life? It's sort of like the same question. And this woman, Leah Labresco Sargent, whatever her last name is, she was the one that was taking the position of a conservative feminist in this debate on the podcast. And she was almost trying to play the good guy in a way.
Mhm.
Like, but it was a really interesting and also offensive
Mhm.
conversation.
Mhm. It's a maddening conversation, and so I just wanna read what so I read a bunch of, like, articles in
Oh, I
response
know
to
you
this.
did. I
Yes,
know
girl,
you
I did.
did.
Yes, girl, and Ms. Magazine,
Oh, I did that. I printed that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, yeah, by Jodie Bondi Norgard, which
Yeah.
just the little bit that I've read about her, like, she's awesome. I wanna see if we can get her on the show because she's really cool. Just the little bit that I know so far. Hopefully that actually pans out and I don't regret saying that later, but I don't think I will. But she writes, and I'm just going to read this quote that in her piece, there is no such thing as conservative feminism. The phrase exists because patriarchy has learned to speak the language of empowerment. It borrows feminist words, choice, agency, strength, but drains them of their radical meaning, using them to defend inequality. It's liberation without justice. It's empowerment without equality. There.
The whole article, I read that article too, and I'm not
Yeah.
talking about that one. I loved the article
Oh
in
yeah,
Ms.
no, that
Magazine.
article's amazing. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Jody, what did I say her name was? Norgard? Jody
Norgard,
Bondi
yeah.
Norgard. Yeah, she's fucking amazing. That article is great.
But the whole original conversation on the other podcast, the
Interesting
Interesting
times.
Times podcast between Helen, Ross, and Leah,
Hmm.
really smacked of,
Internalized misogyny,
well, yeah, that, but,
self-loathing,
well, yeah, that, but also,
not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. Sorry.
also like trad wife culture.
Yes.
Because it was okay, you can work, but once you get pregnant, you need to go down to part-time
Hmm.
because you need to take, who asked for that? Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I have always said, wouldn't it be wonderful to be a working mom and have a job that was about 30 hours a week and to
Hmm.
have full benefits?
Hmm.
Those jobs don't exist, right? So
They
you want to
don't.
put
Yeah.
me, working mom, into a part-time position. You think I should go into a part-time position once I have
Hmm.
my children, no medical, no dental, no
Hmm.
paid time off.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm sorry,
Nothing.
but no, nothing. No
Yeah.
vacation. I should go into part-time status and put
Yeah.
my career on hold because
Hmm.
you think, because you're trad wifing in new different words, conservative feminism. Conservative feminism is code for trad wife bullshit.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's
Absolutely.
no feminism in that.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, these bitches, like, literally, were it not for feminism, these two women, Leah and Helen, would
Hard.
exact they would not have careers, they wouldn't have credit cards, they would not be allowed to be guests on anyone's podcast, let alone a man's podcast. They wouldn't be allowed by the heads of their households to have an opinion separate from their husband.
Well, I don't think they
Um,
do anyway, do they?
well, maybe not, but they're at least like trotting themselves out as being, women who have their
No,
own thoughts.
I think this whole
Mhm.
podcast, this article that she wrote was a setup
Mhm.
so that they could open this line of conversation
Mhm.
so that this conservative feminism could be the new discourse, that this could be the
Yeah.
new natural, the new normal,
Yeah.
that employers, this is the part that irritated me because this is the second time I'm bringing it up, that a
Mhm.
responsible employer should talk to their women
Mhm.
employees about what jobs maybe they should or shouldn't do based on the fact that they will be having children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sexism.
Bullshit. It's sexism, it's bullshit, it's discrimination, it's
Oh, but that's what
it's
they were really upset about, was this Helen Andrews person was
uh-huh.
really upset about, didn't want discrimination laws in place in the first place.
Fuck that bitch because you
Right.
know what? They don't plus they are not using the right definitions of anything. They're not using the right
No, on
definition of
purpose. That's
feminism.
what I'm
Oh
saying,
yeah.
on purpose.
Yeah, they're not using the right definition of woke. They don't even know what woke means, for
No,
fuck's sake. They don't understand what equality and equity and DEI and
how about the Me Too
fairness
movement? They didn't understand what,
and the
yeah.
Me Too. They don't understand what any of that means.
No, I think that,
And they're banking that the people reading this who are going to be snared by all this shit don't know the meanings of those words and aren't going to do the work to find out what those words really do mean.
I agree with that. I think they're banking on that, but I think, I don't know about Leah and her conservative
Whatever.
feminism, but Helen, who
Mm.
originally brought up this topic and wrote the original discourse,
Mm-hmm.
I think she knew exactly what she was doing. I think she
Oh yeah.
knows what those words mean, but I think her article is meant to be deceiving
Mm-hmm.
to change the discourse of words
Mm-hmm.
like woke. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that in her article, but also in her podcast interview,
Mm-hmm.
she sort of conflated feminism with the feminization of a workplace. All
Yeah.
right, like that, but also the feminization of a workplace with
Yeah.
wokeness.
Yeah.
She strung this line of all these things being the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And although they share some similar goals, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that's the right word. These things are not the same thing.
Not at all.
Feminization of the workplace is, those words I think are very, very, very intentional
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
spark a conversation. I feel like she's a plant. I feel like she was a plant to put this out there to make it go
No,
viral.
I think she really means, I think she believes the shit. I really do.
She probably does,
I
but
really do believe that she, well, okay, you know what? Okay, yes, I agree with you. I do agree with you, but I don't think she has the wherewithal to realize that she is being used.
well, a lot of women who, I mean, just look at Handmaid's Tale. All
Yeah.
those women who were on the side of the patriarchy thought they were part of the patriarchy. They didn't know they were being used. I mean,
Yeah.
look at
Of course, they're not being used because
no,
no,
they're the
patriarchy is good for them.
because they're the
Ah.
special woman. Oh, it reminds me of like Clarence Thomas.
Yes.
Like he, same thing. He's the special one.
Proximity to whiteness, proximity to patriarchy. I'm gonna
Exactly.
be safe. I'm one of the good ones. No, bitch, you are not gonna be safe. And no, you are not one of the good ones. Fuck
Oh,
you, man.
I mean, have you watched Handmaid's Tale? They're going to cut off your fingers for reading too, once we're
Yeah,
not allowed to read.
yeah. Or guess what? They might even just like pluck out your fucking eyeballs.
Yeah,
So
because
then you really can't read.
pretty soon you're not allowed to write this article.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. 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 And just oh, and then all the shit that they talk about, like feminine virtues and feminine vices and
Oh, dude,
all of it.
I have been working in business for years,
Mm,
and all of these vices, feminine vices, like not being able to have a direct conversation. Let me tell you, there are plenty of people in positions, male and female, who
mm-hmm.
have, this is why we have whole courses on how to have courageous conversations,
Yep.
how to have difficult conversations, because as a human, we're not very good at them.
Uh-uh.
It isn't
Not at all.
male or female.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are
There's as
skills.
many
These are
emotional.
skills people
Yeah.
have to learn. They
Yeah,
teach
there are
courses
as
on this
many
shit.
emotional and conflict avoidant men as there are emotional and conflict avoidant women.
Oh, I
So,
mean, can we just look at the people who are running our country?
yeah, oh my God.
I
Oh my
wouldn't say
God.
that they're out there having particularly productive conversations that are solving world issues.
Girl,
I don't
not
feel like
even
the issues
close.
have been solved. We're still at war all over the world.
Yeah,
If they're so good at
and just
conflict
picking fights
if they're so good
in
at conflict,
Venezuela.
you and I are just yelling, both of us. We're like so out of control over this article.
Girl, it pissed me right the
Do
fuck
you
off,
feel
okay?
like the New York Times really let us down?
Oh, girl, I am so fucking pointed with the New York Times. I am
Right.
so disappointed. And I thought about like, oh, let me just do like a trial subscription so I can get the article or whatever behind the paywall.
I'm
Fuck all
not
that.
giving
They
them
ain't
a
getting my money.
penny.
They ain't getting none of my money.
As a
None
matter
of
of
it.
fact, you know what I did? I
What'd you do?
did order a subscription of Ms. Magazine
Mm,
because I thought, oh, I need to start. Well, I mean, we've talked about this. This is
yeah.
the year, I think this is the year of reading feminist literature for us. Like
For sure.
we are moving full depth into no more New York Times. We'll read Ms. Magazine from now on.
Yeah, and well, and lots of other long form journalism, so we can actually know what the fuck is going on in the world. Because I mean, and I love me some MSNBC, which of course now is MS Now, whatever the fuck. I mean, I love that as much as the next liberal feminist, but I'm sorry, but they're not that great at letting me know what is going on in the wider zeitgeist. So,
Well, because
and
and we've talked about
CNN
this. It's because they're a
sucks.
Democratic channel.
Well, yeah, and CNN, Lord Jesus, I tried to watch some of CNN yesterday, and I was like, y'all suck too. Damn. So,
I think it's a problem in that I think it goes back to the uh oligarchs that are taking over our country. They're
mhm,
buying out our media
yeah,
outlets. And
yeah, yeah,
so I mean, and we have AI. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to even fathom what is actually real, what is not, what is
yeah,
news. And then when we look at the fact that for all these years we thought in all the other countries, they're getting fake news, but in our country, they're telling us the truth.
yep,
It
nope,
was
nope,
it
nope.
was very naive of us.
Mm-hmm,
I can say it was very naive of me. It
mm-hmm.
was very naive of me to think, oh no, our country, they're feeding us the truth. And then we look
Well,
back at
but maybe at some point, and maybe I'm still
no,
naive. No, okay.
no, because look, we're about to hit Thanksgiving in a couple weeks, right?
Mhm, mhm.
What did we learn since we were little kids about
Oh, yeah,
Thanksgiving? Like,
yeah.
what did we learn about Columbus, who discovered our country that was already inhabited with people?
Yeah, and he didn't even discover it, and he landed in the wrong place.
My point is, we've never been told the truth.
That's
We
true.
just thought we had been told, I don't know, there might be scraps of truth and stuff, but it's hard to know. It's hard
It
to
is.
look at it and be like, is everything a lie?
Right, right. But
A lot of it is.
a lot of it is, and honestly, the New York Times used to be at least one outlet that you could go to for at least some kernel of truth. And I
I mean,
don't. And
this
granted, yes, this was an op-ed piece,
yeah, this
okay?
wasn't
So,
like this was just somebody's opinion, and then they had a long hour discussion about but the discussion, okay, they had a debate between two women who sit on the same side.
yeah, and it wasn't even really a debate.
Right. I mean, they did get a little testy. I enjoyed the conversation when Leah asked Helen, what
Yeah.
is what are virtues that women have? Because I haven't heard you. And Leah's like, well, I don't like women. And Leah's like, that's not what I asked you.
Yeah, and she's like, "Do you even like women?"
I asked you, do women have any virtues? And they're like going back and forth on this.
Yeah, yeah, and this Ross dude who, like, just kept interjecting,
Oh,
saying all his, like,
Ross was just
man
dumb.
bullshit, and I'm like, "Dude, can you just shut the fuck up? Like, nobody wants to hear you, man.
I mean, it
Like,
was
just
his
shut the
podcast,
fuck up."
but he
Well,
was dumb.
still, but goddamn, if you're gonna if somebody on your show is asked a question, let them answer it.
I don't feel like it ever got answered.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It really
And
did not. It did
I
not.
think what it showed is kind of exactly what you already said. that
Mhm.
there was some deep internal on Helen's side, some deep internal self-hatred because she swims in a misogynistic culture and
Mhm.
she's not, in my opinion, I'm not a therapist or anything, but it looks like to me as an observer
Mhm.
that she's not able to see
Mhm.
that about herself.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also the other part that really, really irritated me is this whole discussion about ruin the workplace. Like, let's get
Yeah.
back to that. Like,
Yeah.
ruined it for what? For what?
Right.
How did they ruin it? Did they ruin it because they took because we women, did we ruin it because we asked not to be groped at work?
Well, yeah, Jennifer, damn. Don't you
I
know that
mean,
we're only there to be gripped by men?
did we ruin it because we're competition?
Yeah, did we ruin it? Okay, here's how we probably ruined it. Ruin in quotes, people. We're good at what we do. And so now these like
Mediocre.
mediocre motherfuckers don't get lofted up anymore, or at least not as much. They still do. Let's be clear. They still
They do.
do. But not as much because guess what? There's a woman out there outshining them and outworking them, and they're like, oh, damn, I have to do shit now. Yeah,
Did
yeah,
we
you
ruin
stupid
it for
fuck.
the toxic bros? Like, what did we ruin exactly?
Well, they can't go around and
When
like
we
fart
fem
and burp and hang up posters of,
oh shit.
naked women, and, they can't go around and say, obnoxious, sexist, racist shit just like all day long.
Is that what it means to feminize a workplace?
Yes, apparently.
It's almost like every time Helen said feminize the workplace,
Mhm.
it's almost like that was a bad word, like a oh, they
Yeah.
feminized
Yeah,
the
she used it
work.
as a fucking slur.
They feminized the workplace.
Yeah, and what she was
They
there.
feminized it instead of a masculinized workplace that we like to have. They feminized
Yeah,
it.
because the men can't be men anymore because there's women around. So how dare they? Oh my God.
Because the
Um,
women are busy gossiping.
yeah. Fuck all that. Like men don't gossip. I mean, my God. Like I read a friend of mine sent me a piece that W. Kamau Bell wrote about this, and he was like, "Have y'all met men? Men talk about each other behind each other's backs all the damn time."
I
Yeah,
mean,
don't worry. I'm gonna put a link to that piece in the show notes because that was really good.
I mean,
And
I'll admit something here.
yeah,
Gossiping is something I've been working on.
okay.
I have decided that, well, okay, just like I said before, that courageous conversations or difficult conversations is a skill that we need to learn.
Hmm.
I do training and development at work. I've been studying for years difficult conversations. I've been working on it, teaching it, learning it, teaching it to myself, teaching it to others. One principle of courageous conversations is talk to, not about.
Mm,
So
hmm.
basically, when you need to have a conversation with somebody that's important, you need to
Hmm.
go to them directly, go direct, talk to the
Right.
person. Don't
Right.
talk behind them, talk about them behind their backs, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But it is somewhat of human nature to talk about. And I've
Right.
noticed this in myself. Like when I get upset, I'll gossip. I have gossiped. So I am really working on as a skill, a managerial skill, but also a
Hmm.
skill in my own human relationships
Hmm.
to go direct, talk
Hmm.
to, not about. But again, that's
Hmm.
a skill. I've worked with men, women, non binary folk. Most of us gossip a little bit. It's a skill to learn to go direct.
Hmm. I have I have a little bit of a problem with the term gossip
Yes, I agree.
because
It's feminized. Gossip
first
has
off,
been feminized.
right, right, exactly. First off, because it's portrayed, and yes, it can be destructive. Yes, it can. but it's also a way of sharing information,
Well, yes.
and it's also a way
Well, yes, like, "Hey,
of
Raquel, did you know that guy that works in the cubicle over there? He'll grab your ass if you walk by, so don't
exactly,
walk by him."
exactly, and it's also a way of working through something.
Mhm.
And that's not necessarily a male or female trait, that's a personality
I
that's
also
literally
think
and it's a little bit of a societal thing, like, some people just work through things better
verbally.
talking through right, verbally.
Okay, but
Plus,
I
and
can agree.
if we look at, like, the history of the word gossip, it used to be that it was women talking to each other, like I said, as a form of information,
And they don't want us to
warning
do
each
it.
other. They don't want us to talk to each other because God forbid that we know something that can be used to keep us safe.
Safe. Yeah. Okay, so I have a little bit of I 100%. I'm right there with you, agree 100%. I have a little bit more of a personal definition of gossip,
Okay, that's fair.
and my personal definition of what I want to work on myself
Mhm.
is when I'm kinda bad mouthing someone else. Like
Okay, okay.
not necessarily like, okay, there'll be a work problem that'll come up and I need to talk to somebody, I need to go direct, and that's fine. I'll talk it out with someone, a coworker, maybe a colleague of my same level.
Mhm.
We'll talk it out. I don't have any problem with that.
Right.
It's more like my own personal thing where I say, "Oh, did you hear what so and so did? Or did they wear that thing to the concert and it looks so tacky?" Or I personally want to set a goal for myself
Okay.
to not participate in snickety language about someone else.
Got it. Okay,
Because
okay.
I
That's fair.
actually think at the root of that, all it is doing is mirroring my own insecurity.
Mhm, mhm. That's
So
fair.
I'm working on that. I'm trying to notice, like, if I think somebody's outfit is tacky or something and I want to say something about it, I'm trying to say to myself, okay, what is it about that is triggering within you?
Yep.
And so maybe it's like jealousy. Maybe I'm
Mhm,
like,
mhm,
oh,
mhm.
how dare that diva wear that and look so good?
Right, right,
Right?
right. Yeah,
You know,
that's fair, that's
so
fair.
I'm trying to work on that,
Yeah.
but I do not think that gossip is a female trait. I think it's something that some humans are really engrossed in, and some
Mhm.
humans have learned to not do so much.
Right, right.
And it's a skill.
It's a s
Most
yeah.
most of these traits that Helen was talking about, like
Mhm.
the ones she assigned to men and the ones she assigned to women,
Yeah.
most of them are skills that
Mhm.
we can learn in a work environment. They
Yeah.
aren't things that are inherently male or female.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the fact that she talks about or one of them, I forget which person said this, but talking about worriers versus warriors.
Warriors. Yeah.
The fuck? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? I have met men who as much worry as women do, and I have met women who are as much warrior as men are. And I mean, but on it, like she is working with such a narrow definition.
On purpose. I still believe she is doing this shit on purpose.
Of course, but
I think
I
this
do think
whole
that she actually believes this shit though.
she probably does, but this whole discourse is a setup to
Mhm.
normalize this type of conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be like,
Yeah.
"Oh," and it's already normalized to, "Oh, we have a problem, blame women.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
workplace isn't the way we want it to be, blame women.
Yeah.
Men aren't getting enough opportunity, blame women. Manufacturing jobs are on the decline, which men traditionally did,
Yeah.
blame women."
Yeah. But during wartime, women had those jobs.
Yeah, but I would blame men that kicked them out of those jobs.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because they're like, wait a minute, who's cooking me dinner? You better
Not
get your ass
me.
back in the
Not me.
kitchen.
I'm not cooking
Girl,
dinner.
girl, I'm not
No,
either. I'm
no.
not either. No,
I
no.
don't want to cook dinner. It's just frustrating because it seems like it really to me feels like a fancy way to dress up the whole trad wife discussion.
Yes,
To
yes.
take it out of we are putting on an apron, we're cooking bread or
We're
we're
baking
baking
bread.
bread.
Look, and there's nothing wrong with baking bread.
I baked bread today.
I have baked some bread and have
I,
done a pretty damn good job at
I
it.
baked bread today, but I
So,
want to bake bread when I want to bake bread.
exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
want to bake bread when I want to buy a loaf of bread.
Right, exactly. Or
And if
because
I have
somebody's
my own
telling you
money,
that you have to bake bread.
I can decide, do I want to bake bread today or do I want to buy bread today or do I not want to even eat bread today because I have my own money and I can buy my own food and do it my
Exactly.
own way in my own house and I don't need anybody telling me what to do.
Exactly. Exactly. So I want to read some of the things that Jessica Valenti wrote in her piece. And like I'm gonna jump around a little bit because literally the entire fucking article is amazing. So it's from her Substack, it's her newsletter.
Cool, cool.
And people subscribe to it, read her stuff. She's amazing. She's very, very smart and she's very purposeful. She's Her pieces are very well thought out and very well researched. So you just follow her. She's amazing. She does great work. Please support her. Um, but so I mean, I literally could read the whole thing, but she says, so let's be clear. The debate over women's freedom isn't abstract public discourse, it's a threat.
It is a threat.
It is a threat. And then she goes on to say, because trust me, there's a lot more in here, but then she goes on to end the article saying, misogynists, and this includes women, I would literally say that these two women, Leah and Helen, are they're misogynists. They hate themselves. They hate other women. Just going to go ahead and say it. Jessica Valenti ends this particular newsletter saying, misogynists aren't making political points. They're making promises.
No, I agree.
Pay attention, people.
I agree. I think this whole thing is to set this discourse up.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I really agree. I think it's really interesting that they had this debate with two women who basically sit on the same side,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with a
Mm-hmm. And
mediator who basically sits on the same side.
it's not a debate. Like, I'm sick of people misusing the word debate. They had a conversation. There was no debate. There was no debate.
That's true.
They talked back and forth and they talked at each other and they talked over each other. That's not debate. That's
That's a
not debate.
podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a fucking conversation that happened to be recorded. That's what that was. That was not a debate. I think people need to go back and look up what debate actually is and then go take a fucking debate class and figure out what debate actually is. It's not this like talking at each other bullshit at all. It's just not.
What do you think about the fact that the Interesting Times podcast, opened up with men and women are different?
I think it's a setup. It's a setup. Yeah, there are differences between men and women and non-binary folks and Republicans and Democrats. Yes, there are differences. Yes. But does that mean that men are better? No.
I think what they're trying to say, or my opinion of what they were trying to say, was that somehow this liberal feminism
Mhm.
is trying to say that we as liberal feminists are trying
Mhm.
to say that we are exactly the same as men and we should have all the same things that men have. And I really think it's the same conversation you and I have been having about the word feminism all along. What
Mhm.
does it really mean? And I
Mhm.
think them opening with that men and women are not the same is them trying to smack down feminism once again.
Mhm, mhm,
Trying to
mhm.
say, look, people, feminists are trying to make men into women and women into men.
Yeah, and they're trying to set it up by saying men and women are different. What they're really trying to say is that men should make more money than women, and that women should not
Belong
have
in the
certain
home.
jobs or any
Or
jobs.
women
Well, except
belong,
for taking care of children.
right, women belong in the home.
Mhm,
They can be a nurse. They
mhm,
can clean up people's poo-poo and pee-pee.
mhm,
They can clean a house.
mhm.
They
They can
can,
do the womanly things.
yes, but we don't want any women running our government.
Yeah, and we don't want women on the floor of the NASDAQ. We don't want women flying planes.
I
We don't
do.
want
I want a
women
woman flying my plane that I do. I
abso-fucking-lutely.
do.
And they're saying we don't want women as CEOs, and we don't want women making as much or more money than men, and we don't want women being lawyers, and blah blah blah
Yeah, she
blah
did seem to
blah.
have a issue with the fact that more women are going to law school
Mhm.
and getting their degrees now. And at some point, we're going to have more women judges and lawyers in this country than we have male.
And I think that's a great thing. I think that's amazing.
Oh, I don't know because they're so emotional.
Well,
They might rule based on their emotions rather than law.
or they might rule based on being on their period. Oh my god. The
It just
fuck.
reminds me of the judge that, what was his name? Brock Turner, that
Mm,
gave Brock Turner basically no sentence for raping that young woman behind a
mhm,
fucking dumpster.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
He gave him a very
Yeah,
light sentence,
nothing, nothing.
basically nothing, because he didn't want to ruin Brock Turner's future. Is that not an emotional judgment? And I know we shouldn't be
Absolutely.
just picking one-offs
Why
because,
not?
well,
Because
because that's what they did. They picked off
sure,
one-offs.
but if they're gonna make that the game, then we're gonna play it too.
But was that not an emotional response? Oh, poor Brock
Yeah.
Turner, his future might be over. Instead
Mhm.
of following the letter of the law. You did.
Or I'm sorry, is it emotional that our president takes to social media to call people he doesn't like names?
Oh yeah, he's like one of the
He's
most
a
emotional there
fucking
is.
child.
Yeah.
The man is a goddamn toddler.
Yeah. Although I don't think we can equate emotions with childish. He is
Okay,
childish.
sure, 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 sure.
He is
That's true. That's
childish.
true. Yeah.
Um,
Well, he's
but
he's not using his grown-up skills.
I mean,
Let's say that.
yeah, I think it's actually really important that people who are making decisions become very emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
Learn how to,
But
like,
Trump doesn't have any emotional
no, I'm
intelligence.
not talking about him. I'm
Okay.
talking about when Helen Andrews said that we don't want to have women as judges because they're too
Because they're
emotional.
and
They're gonna
because
make
they're too empathetic.
they're gonna make emotional,
Don't
empathetic
you want
decisions.
somebody who is rule who don't you want people to be empathetic? My God.
I would like to see a
Isn't that
just
part of the point of having laws that are fair as opposed to just punitive? My
not if
God.
not if you're interested in maintaining the prison system of slavery that we
Well,
currently
that's true.
have in our country.
That's
Not
true.
if you're not interested in rehabilitating people.
That's true. And
Not if
and
you're
and I would dare say that
This whole thing, in my opinion, was a white supremacist episode.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They didn't say anything.
Because they didn't, as W. Kamau Bell noted in his piece, they didn't mention shit about all these people who are now out of work, the 300,000 black women who, since I think it was like June, no, January, who are now out of the workplace because they were let go because of Doge and Trump and basically just going through and just bulldozing all of these federal jobs.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
no mention of that at all.
No, because it's not a white lady problem.
Exactly.
It wasn't a white
Exactly.
lady problem, so they're not going to
Exactly.
talk about it.
Exactly.
The white lady problem is, oh, should I go to part-time when my children are born?
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but if you already don't make enough money, you don't have that option. That question does not even enter your
You can't
brain.
do it. You can't get any benefits in most
Mm-mm.
workplaces by being part-time.
No, not at all.
You can't
Not at
get
all.
health care, you can't get dental. And what are you gonna do for your kids? Like, what are you gonna do here? So I'm sorry, but that part-time
But
thing
but
doesn't
your
work.
husband is working and you should be on his insurance anyway.
Raquel,
He's the head of the household.
I divorced my husband.
Girl, I know, and I ain't never been married. And at this rate, girl, I ain't getting married. Okay? Cause if shit like this keeps going on, I don't believe that there is anybody out there that I want to be married to.
conservative conservative feminism reminds me of when people say that they are how do they put it, fiscally conservative and socially, what do they say, fiscally conservative and
And socially moderate or
socially
socially,
liberal,
yeah, that is
socially
some
liberal. I
bullshit.
mean, I thought about that. Sure, we all want to make more money,
Yeah.
right? But our choices in how we make more money, like we could do what Trump and Doge and all those things you were just talking about. We could gut all those people's jobs. We could gut out all, we're not going to pay SNAP benefits, right? We could gut it all and
Mm.
we have more money.
Yeah, but that money ain't coming to me and you.
But oh, I'm talking about the big wigs up there.
Oh,
That
oh,
but so
okay.
they are being fiscally conservative. But you can't be socially liberal at the same time
No,
because
you
you
can't.
just got.
I think when people say that phrase, fiscally conservative but socially liberal, I think they think, "Oh, it means that I'm not mean to people who are a different color than me."
I'm a nice person.
Yeah. The
I'm a
fuck?
nice I'm a nice person as I continue to invest in genocide.
Yeah, and as I continue to be like,
I mean,
wh
look,
as I continue to go, who needs DEI? Just get rid of it."
look, this is a really hard topic. Christmas is right around the corner. Thanksgiving is coming around. How
Mhm.
do we Spotify is running ads for ICE.
Oh my god, girl, I know.
Right. So like I have been talking with my family about canceling Spotify. These are real human conversations, right?
Mhm.
Spotify is running ICE ads, and I have money in investments, and I'm sure if I looked closely at those investments, some of it is funding genocide. And every
Mhm.
time we go to Shell gas station, isn't it isn't it supporting the oil industry? I mean, I don't
Yeah.
when we shop, it takes a real privileged person to be able to say, I'm not going to shop at Walmart. I'm not going to shop at Dollar
Target.
Tree. I'm not going to shop at Target. I'm not going to. So it's like, this is a really complicated era that we're in
Mhm.
because we do have to care about our money.
Mhm. Mhm.
And yet, when we choose to spend it, there are repercussions. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
I have an Apple phone
Yeah.
that some kid in in some
And
mine across the world, some probably 5-year-old probably dug up the minerals for that phone.
yeah.
And we're
But
becoming,
that but that's but that's any cell phone.
no, 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 I
Yeah.
know. But what
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying is we have a certain standard of living
Mhm.
that we live. And I know we got real off track from the topic here, but this is what keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
Almost everything we do has some kind of political consequence.
Yeah.
And where's that line? And how do we know which is right and which is wrong? And I think we just do the best we can. And so I understand why someone would want to be fiscally conservative because they want to protect their money. I would
Sure.
like to be fiscally conservative, but I don't believe those two things always jive.
Mm-mm.
They just
No,
don't
not at all. Not at all.
because we make more money when human life is not part of the bottom line.
Yeah.
If we cared about fast fashion and the where those clothes are being made, and I mean
Hmm.
it's this is just so much, but we can't you can't even buy any fashion that's made in the US anymore. So what is a person to do?
I mean, you can, but I mean, that takes privilege too, because more often than not, those items are much more expensive.
Oh, they are because there's no child labor involved.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
mean,
Yeah, and
this is
if you if you're one of these women who decides to go, who has the opportunity to go, or doesn't even have the opportunity, if your boss is like, "Oh, you have kids, you're going to part-time." Like, because that still happens.
it
It
does.
still happens. So then you're like, "Oh, fuck. I gotta clothe myself and my children. Guess what I can afford?
Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart, Temu, or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck else." I
That's
mean,
right. We all have to look at all of this and balance like how do we move forward?
mhm,
We do I know that compared to most of the world, I
mhm,
live a pretty comfortable life.
mhm,
I know that I'm not a multimillionaire. I'm not even a millionaire. I'm not even a I don't even come close to that, but I know
mhm,
compared to most of the world, I live comfortably.
mhm.
I understand on some level that in order to equal out the world, we do have to give up some of that privilege.
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. With what's the phrase? With something comes with power comes great responsibility. And that is what is lost here in in the conversation around what do we do with our money and all that, is that, you know what, if you have more money than somebody else, help somebody out
right,
if you can. And billionaires got the money.
they do.
They have the ability to help
They
people.
do. There really shouldn't be billionaires.
There
There
really
really
shouldn't, and there
shouldn't.
certainly shouldn't be trillionaires.
Right. And
Elon Musk.
no, I mean, look at the whole Trump dynasty. He's gotten
Mhm.
nothing but and that okay. And that I won't say that's the masculinization of government, but that's for sure the toxic masculinization of government.
And it's the capitalization
Yes.
of government.
He and his family have made so much money since he's been in office.
Oh my god, it's disgusting.
Once again,
It's disgusting.
once again. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really think it's women that ruin the workforce
Yeah, no,
or the
not at all.
workplace.
No.
In
And
fact, I
so
don't actually think the workplace is ruined.
no, it's not. No, no. In fact, what I would like, I mean, I wish there was a way to do this. I mean, you would have to send them to a totally different country and then they'd just be like, "Oh, but that's not America." I wish that there was a way to take people who espouse this kind of bullshit like Leah and Helen did in that podcast interview. I wish there was a way to take them and plop them down in 1940s, 1950s America and be
Yeah.
like, "Go with God, girl. We'll leave you here for a month. See how you do."
Hope you like your dresses.
Yeah, exactly. Hope you like that you are not allowed to make a decision on your own or have your own money,
Better go get your
or
daddy's permission.
yeah, or your husband's permission, or you better hope you're married to a man who is generous and gentle and kind, because otherwise you fucked. You fucked. Oh, and speaking of fucking, you won't be able to say no to your husband if you're like, "Baby, I got a headache," or "Baby, I just don't feel like it." No, sweetheart. Your husband can just take it.
Yeah.
Have fun with that, bitch. Anyway, so I know
You on
I
fire.
have no sympathy for these women who literally have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Go and talk to women who have lived through this shit. Talk to them. See what their lives were really like.
I mean,
Don't just accept this like, pie in the sky Disney-fied bullshit idea.
we have modern day examples all around us. We have what's going on in Iran right now.
No, I know. But that's what
We
I'm saying
have
is they can just go, oh, but that's another country. That's not here. That's why I'm saying talk to women who have lived through this bullshit here in this country. Talk to a woman in her 60s and her 70s and see what life was really like for her
Well, I think
back then.
that's probably I think that's I could be wrong, but I think that's part of the issue is that in some of these subcultures, especially religious subcultures in the United States, the older women are guiding the younger women. These family units are they're teaching women to be subservient. Like that didn't
Because
happen in
but they're teaching what the man is telling them and by the man I
well,
don't
they're
mean the man. I mean a man who is the
well,
head of their household.
that's right. A man and their whole religious right
Mhm.
it comes from it comes from the whole group. It
Yeah.
comes from the women to the women, from the men. They're holding each other in that oppression.
I guess when I say talk to a woman who's older, who's lived through this,
Who got out of
talk
it?
who got out,
Yeah, who got out?
who got out. But I just because let's see, what time is it?
We're
Okay.
getting there. We
Yeah.
should be about done.
So I just want to read this quote from it's this piece in Salon, and it's called Women Didn't Ruin the Workplace, Capitalism Did. It's written by Andy Zeisler.
Awesome.
Uh, and so I just think this is a great quote. It may or may not fit here in our conversation, but I don't care. It's a good quote. I think we should it's important. Andy writes, "The vagueness and non-specificity that characterize Did Women Ruin the Workplace are hallmarks of right-wing rhetoric," says Moira Donegan, a Guardian columnist and writer in residence at Stanford's Clayman Institute for Gender Research, who co-hosts the podcast In Bed with the Right. Quote, "One revealing thing about the conversation is that you can tell these people are in an epistemic bubble where they're not being challenged on what they're saying. They presume a kind of intellectual entitlement where these are not words you have to make your audience understand." Donegan adds one more term to the list, pointing out that the conversation uses feminism as a euphemism for women,
Yep.
rather than defining feminism as a set of political comments or ideals. When it's espoused by a woman and is about gender, that's presumed to be sufficient to define it as feminism.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I had a little poem on my phone that I wanted to read. This was on, I of course went on Instagram and looked
Mhm.
up did women ruin the workplace and all kinds of stuff came up. And it was kind of
Nice.
it was kind of fun to go through it. But this is a poem written by it's at moms dot who dot right. So moms who write.
Okay.
Did women ruin the workplace? Maybe. But did men worship the young body and call it a distraction? Did men ask what she was wearing and say she deserved it? Did men build the boardroom like a church and kneel to their own reflection? Did men teach her to smile through the meeting, the blood, the narrowing years? Did men ruin the country and call it leadership? Did men write the rules and call it order? Did men name her ruin so they could stay holy?
Damn.
Yeah. At moms dot who dot right. I started following her. I
Oh.
just thought, I don't even know. It might be more than one woman. I don't
Mhm.
actually know who wrote the poem,
Right.
but
Wow.
wasn't that like, okay, men.
That's pretty fucking powerful.
Okay. Yeah.
Words matter, people. Words matter.
Yeah. Women did not ruin the workplace.
Hell no.
We have made the workplace much more tolerable, I dare say, for men and women. And there is still so much work to do.
So goddamn so much. Jesus, so
Yeah.
much.
And before we go, one thing I do want to say is that when we were talking about doing this episode, I was really excited about doing it because you and I have not really set we talk once a month, just the two of us, about our banned books.
Mhm.
We have really not sat down and talked about something that's going on in our world other than with guests.
Mhm.
And I was just like really excited just to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I do miss that. I
Yeah.
really do. And I think it's a good touch point for us as friends, but I think it's a good touch point for our listeners to know how we're reacting to what's going on in the world in real time.
Right now, more of it.
This is awesome. Yeah, yeah, definitely more of this, please.
More of it.
I love it. This having this conversation, yes, it was a disgusting topic, and but it was very energizing for me in that, we get to talk about this kind of stuff.
Doesn't it
You
do a
know?
body good to get it out? Like
Yeah, it's good to
talkers.
get this stuff out, man. It's good to just release it all. And it's always good to bounce this stuff off of you too, because although we're very much in sync in how we think about things, there are some differences, and it's good to have that back and forth.
Yeah, we're not the same person.
No, no, we're not. I know people get us confused all the time,
But we're not the same
but
person.
we're not the same person.
That's funny, Rico. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend.
Or you could leave us a comment and a 5-star review, or email us at madnesscafepodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks, everybody.